Well, greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today I'm back hiking in the Adirondacks, and I actually go off trail and blaze my own trail. And I come across something that, well, is pretty strange. Before we get into this, though, a couple links. As you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, and my merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. The links to Patreon and PayPal are in the description below. My merch displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman Frightening Encounters, Volume 1, 2, and 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeffrey Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, the links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help this channel to continue to grow and go, just simply subscribe and click the like button. It's fast and free. Now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's get on with today's upload. Shall we? Alright guys, so I'm back up north where Thomas Messick disappeared. I believe on Google Earth I can pinpoint, or I have pinpointed, where he disappeared. I'm going to talk to you guys about a couple of things and share a couple of things. So we'll have a pretty good video today. But I kind of want to do a panorama view of the middle where I am. So this is the valley that doesn't really look like a valley, but I'm higher on higher ground. And it goes up all around me. So, and once again, it's completely silent up here. Not a sound. So, from where I triangled it, I'm gonna have to go off trail, which I am right now. And I believe, if you can see, let me turn this around real quick. I believe he was up in that region somewhere, and that's where I'm going. Now we have some sort of bird, at least. Alright, so as you can see, it's pretty gnarly up here. But I think from what I got, he didn't obviously climb up here, but there was some sort of back way where he had taken to get to this location. Wow, this is absolutely gorgeous up here. Unbelievable. Holy crap. I saw something up that way. I'm gonna try to get up that ridge. Whew. My legs are gonna be killing me today. But you know what? I haven't been able to do this in years. So if I'm able to do it now, whoa, right here. Hang on. All right, so here we are. Wow, this is absolutely gorgeous, guys. You know, I'm just gonna give you guys a scenery. When I get to where I wanna be and we'll talk, that's when I'll put it on myself, all right? you guys got to see how absolutely cool that is. That's just amazing. I mean, I am I am deep, guys. I am deep. Wow, this is absolutely beautiful up here. Holy cow. This is why hiking in the Adirondacks is, look at that. I don't know if you can see, you hear that jet. Whew. Wow. Way up. It still goes up, guys. It's insane. Guys, look at that. It just keeps going up and up. Absolutely gorgeous up here. Wow. I'm so happy I decided to do this today. What is that up there? What in the... No, I think that's pareidolia on my part. Just awesome. So, here's the thing. I guess I just wanted to kind of go over some things that, some theories, I guess. Now, I'm a firm believer that Dogman, and I'm not so sure on the werewolf or the Bigfoot, but I'm a firm believer that the Dogman is an opportunistic hunter. Like, if it were to see me here, I don't think it would hesitate to come and take me out. But the thing is where Tom was, he was by himself. Yeah, there's 200 yards away from other people, but look where we are. I mean, if something were to grab him from up above and pull him in these trees, no one's really gonna see or hear anything, especially if it came down, grabbed him by the head. As it's grabbing him by the head, I'm imagining it's breaking his neck. And then he just ended up, staying up in the trees for a while until the search was done. I don't believe, the way they talk about the search, it doesn't sound like they looked up. How often do we look up, So I'm not buying that it was looking up. I don't believe that they were looking up. So hang on one second. I just want to take my camera and look over on that side real quick. So I just think it was my imagination playing tricks on me about something being up there. I keep hearing brush move. Anyway, I believe they are opportunistic. So if he's by himself and one of these creatures, let's say, is down on the ground, sees him, I don't think they would hesitate climbing up into a tree and using the trees to travel. I'm a firm believer that they do use the trees to travel covertly. I know that kind of sounds really strange, but that's just my belief. And that's one of the amazing things with cryptozoology is that we're all entitled to our own beliefs. Now, these creatures that's weird. These creatures that are being seen, these like hyena-like cryptids throughout the country. They've been spotted. I mean, you've got the wahila. I mean, these are creatures that have been spotted for hundreds of years prior to the white settlers coming over, when Native Americans were just here. And they had their own names for these monsters. In the next couple of days, I'm working on kind of a documentary on a county in Georgia. A subscriber had sent me some information, and the reason why I waited so long to do it is because I wanted to get this book. And it's actually historical writings from 1784. And they talk about something just moved up on that ridgeline behind me. Whoa. They talk about a large wolf or dog the size of a horse running through the forests of Georgia. They don't talk about if it's bipedal though. From what I'm getting, it's a quadruped. Now, to me, it may stand up. Maybe they just hadn't seen it. But I find it fascinating, either way you look at it, that there was a large canine that big to be lurking around the Americas at that time. Because at that time, the prehistoric North American hyena was extinct for 80,000 to 100,000 years prior to that, I believe. But yeah, so I really think that Tom was taken by a Dogman, not by a werewolf and not by a squatch. Now, when people talk about that metallic sound that was heard, you guys who have been in the mountains and have been hiking know that nature makes some strange sounds wherever you are. And the Adirondacks especially make some really strange sounds. Thank God there's some bird noises going on right now because I feel better. Actually, there's a woodpecker right up there. But, it's just whatever that sound was, I don't think it was attributed to Tom's disappearance. I hate coincidences. I really do. But I don't think it was a coincidence. I really don't. And by the way, that little beep was my phone. Just make sure that the ringer is off. I don't know why it's making noise. Whatever that noise was, I don't think it was attributed to his disappearance. A strange, it could have been something down on the lake. Who knows? There's a lot of strange stuff up here. Thank God there's birds today, boy. Oh God, I feel so much safer than the last time I've been here. Now, with all this other stuff, Tony Aaron's, Amber Miller, I I have some plans for that, and I'm not going to talk about it, what I plan on doing, because, well, I don't want people to copy what I do prior to me doing it. But I think you guys are going to be quite surprised by what I do, because it is well, it's going to be pretty impressive. So hang on one second. I was going to show you guys something real quick. So this is what I wanted to show you. Look at that valley. Look at that. I am high up right now. It took me 20 minutes to get here. And I mean, there is still a lot of hiking to go. You can hear that noise in the background. I have no idea what that is. But like I said, up here, oh, it's a helicopter. There is a military base up here. But I just wanted to show you that really quick. I actually thought I saw something weird and I wanted to kind of zoom in on it quickly, but it was nothing. Really quick, I started hearing things on that ridge, and I kind of did a scan of the area. Now, when I came up, I kind of blazed my own path. I'll show you when I turn the camera around, but as I was looking around, I saw something, and then I went over to it. At first I thought it was like a natural rock outcropping, but, well, I mean, someone could have been up here. Logically, someone could have went where I am. I don't see how, but well, I'll show you. So that's the rock that I had my camera positioned on. Now, we do hear birds, so I'm not saying there's anything with me right now. That's the way I took through to get up here. But that is what I just noticed. That doesn't happen naturally. And I know some people are going to be like, you did that. No, I didn't. I know there's no way of proving it, but I didn't. Huh. Very weird. Cool, though. Definitely cool. So, really quick, while we're up here, I wanted to kind of do something. Now, I know I'll probably get flack for this from some of the haters and trolls, but, you know, I'm in the woods right now, and I am completely comfortable. I'm at home right here. This is just heaven right now for me. And I have a couple of encounters that were sent to me. So I'm not covering how to hunt. I've watched his channel maybe twice, and he does a great job. But you know, I'm here, so I figured why not do this quick. But it's definitely not. I'm not trying to copy him. I'm not gonna continuously do where I sit down and do what he does. But because I'm here and it's the nicest day we've had in a long time, and to be honest, with my health conditions, I have not been able to hike or do anything in a very long time. So this is a blessing for me. So I'm gonna do it. All right. Hey Jeff, feel free to share my story if you think it will help someone. My name is Scott, and I live in a suburban city in northern Kentucky, about 10 minutes from downtown Cincinnati. I'm surrounded by subdivisions. There are small patches of wooded areas all throughout the city. The Ohio River is about 5 miles of woods over the hill from me. You can see the river if you go down to the bottom of the next street over. It was late September, early October 2021 when I started noticing strange things. I'd wake up at around 4 in the morning during the weekdays for work. The first thing I do is smoke a cigarette out on my front porch and read the paper on my phone. About a week before, I started noticing helicopters flying around the area I live. They were loud and flew very low. I could feel the vibration in my chest. They were so low. I've had the same morning routine for 10 years, and I've never heard a helicopter at that time of the morning. This particular morning, I heard an owl hoot. I had never heard or noticed an owl in 40 years that I've lived at my home. The hoot seemed a little off. I remember thinking, that's weird. The next morning, I'm out there and I hear the owl hoot again, but this time 2 other owls chime in. They are all 3 sound off. This time I remember laughing at it because it sounded so funny. I always thought owls lived alone and they were territorial. I was kind of thinking that this is strange as well. The deer population in my city is huge. They're almost like dogs. They're everywhere. They come up to our house at night and graze in the grass and are all way out there. They come up to our house at night and graze in the grass and are always out there that time of the year. I started noticing the deer not being around. I didn't think too much into it. The third night I'm on the porch and I hear a branch snap and the owls again. The snap was very loud, out of nowhere. I hear dogs throughout the neighborhood going totally berserk. I'd never heard them act like that before. I kind of felt sorry for the owners because the barking was so loud and these dogs seemed uncontrollable. Once again, another strange morning. A couple of days go by with nothing out of the ordinary except for the helicopters flying low, but I wasn't thinking too much about the previous days. On the 5th morning of this sequence of events, the dogs went nuts again. The owls were back, and I heard what sounded like clicking noises behind my neighbor's home. I had never heard that sound before in my life. At work that day, I mentioned the things that had taken place to my coworker, trying to be funny. He said it must be a Bigfoot. We laughed and got on with our day. The next morning is when I realized there was something going on that's not normal. Out of nowhere, I hear this perfect whistle across the street behind the woods of my neighbor's home. My first thought was, who would be whistling at 4 a.m. in the woods? This whistle was pristine, very loud. It was crisp, perfect sounding. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared as hell. I've always been told not to respond or whistle back if you're in the woods. I started looking into these strange occurrences, and everything I read and watched pointed to something cryptid. And I thought, there's no way. So, of course, my senses are heightened, and I start paying attention to every noise that I hear throughout the next couple of weeks. But the thing is, it all stopped. Nothing. No more owl, tree breaks, dogs barking, no helicopters, and the deer are back. Absolutely nothing. After a week or 2, I stopped thinking about what had happened, and life was back to normal. Fast forward to March of 2022. Helicopters are back, the deer disappeared again, the owls were back, the neighbor's dogs are going nuts, and I heard the clicking noises again. This went on for about a week, and I started watching YouTube channels, and that's how I found you, about Dogman and Bigfoot. The whole time I'm thinking there's no way it's one of these creatures. There's just no way. On the morning of March 23rd, I'm outside in the morning when I hear the clicking, popping noises. But it sounded really close. I looked up and across the street, I see this 8 to 9 foot bipedal creature in my neighbor's yard staring right at me. I froze. I couldn't move a muscle. I could only see the silhouette with the lighting that was there. It was huge. After about 5 seconds, I snapped out of it, stood up, just to make sure I wasn't seeing things. I definitely was not. The creature looked like it had turned its head and walked down the side of the house through the mulch bed and disappeared. The whole thing lasted 10 seconds. I was floored. Couldn't believe it. I was second guessing myself, but I know what I saw. Getting ready for work that morning was a blur. I parked my Jeep directly across from where I walked down the driveway. The sun was just coming out. I had to pump myself up just to get to my car. When I finally got out the door, I ran to my vehicle, looked down to the area where it had walked, and in the mulch bed, there were friggin' footprints. This blew my mind, just unbelievable. There was no way I was getting out to take a picture or to inspect it any closer. When I got to work, I didn't say a word, since I figured my coworker wouldn't believe me anyway. I've told a couple family members, and they just laughed it off. I guess that comes with the territory. The footprint stayed visible in the mulch bed for about a week, but washed out when it rained. I'm kicking myself for not getting a closer look at them, but I was afraid if my neighbors saw me down in there, they'd think I was nuts. They stay to themselves, and I didn't really know how they'd react if they saw me rooting around in their yard. I wish I would have done it, though. I had never given too much thought about Sasquatch or Dogman. The cryptid world just never crossed my mind, especially in a big city. Seeing is believing, and I know what I saw. For all I know, this has happened every year since I've lived here, and probably for thousands of years before. But the thing is, they are so stealthy that people just never pay attention to the small details around them. The scary part is they live so close to every single one of us, not just in the Pacific Northwest or the forests with a ton of acreage. They are literally right in our backyards. Doesn't matter where you live. These creatures may migrate and pass through my area. The river is close, and there are train tracks down there as well. It's a nice pipeline to get from one point to another. I still hear strange things on occasion, but not the amount of activity I was getting at the end of fall and the beginning of spring. I am definitely aware now, and my eyes and ears are always open. Thank you, Jeff, for doing what you do, and for bringing awareness to this subject. People need to be aware that these things are out there and start paying attention to their surroundings. They're everywhere. I've been thinking about setting up a recording device in my yard to see if I can catch something. I will keep you posted on my endeavors and hopefully be able to get some proof for the naysayers. Take care and God bless. Scott. Wow. You know, he said it perfect, actually. They have been here for thousands of years, and they are everywhere. They're not just out here. They're not just, they are everywhere. This was their land before we were here. And like he said, there's a perfect pipeline for them. You've got train tracks. You've got riverbeds. Perfect walking place. They can go from place to place to place to place. And they can move at night, So it really doesn't matter. Oh, my feet are killing me, guys, sorry. It really doesn't matter where you are. They can eventually migrate to where you are. So, definitely a cool experience, and I'm going to reach out to him and see if he'd like to come on the show and share that with us. So, but give me a minute, and I'll turn this camera around and take a look at the area again, and I think I'm heading out of here, because it's starting to get quiet now. Wow, what a super beautiful day out today. I really actually enjoyed going up today. I wasn't so kind of looking over my shoulder. Yes, there were times that there was no noise whatsoever, but the birds were, it was just a welcoming sound to hear. And then to be up on that mountain, just talking to you guys, it was almost like you guys were there with me. Just a really cool experience, cool time. And those three rocks, I mean, the one is obviously in the ground. The other two, I have no idea. There's no trail there. I literally blazed my own trail. There was a state park sign, so maybe someone who had put the sign up built that, but I don't know. It was just because those state park signs are older than old. Maybe they did while they were building or putting the sign up, and they just thought it'd be neat to stack some rocks, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem right to me that they would. Just a really cool location I found today. And yeah, I really think what I was talking about earlier in the video about Tom not having even a chance to identify his attacker. So I don't know. Beautiful day. Beautiful. Just wow. I had a great time. So with that, I want to thank everybody, and I appreciate all the support. May the Great Spirit watch over us all, and may He guide us down that path that we call life.